What's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Hot Mic here on the John Rocha channel. I am John Rocha, joined as always by the Sneider himself, Jeff Sneider. How are you, brother?
Hello, Johnny boy.
Fresh from your trip to the East Coast, how are you feeling? How was the East Coast? And did you get a chance to see Jason Tatum working out, who apparently is recovering from his Achilles heel very quickly, man? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, God, what a freak of nature. I did see that he was already getting some light jogging in and stuff. I don't think we'll rush him back. I do think he'll be back, towards the end of the season if we make the playoffs. But
right,
yeah, no need to rush.
How was the East Coast for you, though? Was it nice seeing family?
Yes, great to see the fam. In fact,
ooh,
let me just I'm not quite ready for the show yet. Hold on.
Are you gonna oh, okay. Oh, where the hell? What are you doing? What is that? Is that
my brother, the other Johnny boy in my life?
Oh,
this sick hat. And I know you want one, and I know everybody watching this podcast wants one. So we're going to figure it out. We're going to be in touch, Johnny. You and I will talk, figure out if we do end up selling these amazing hats, how to chop up the proceeds and whatnot. But great to see the fan, even though I wasn't feeling 100%. I've been a little under the weather, but I am starting to feel a little bit better today.
That's good. That's good. Yes, you better get me one of those goddamn hats. John, if you're watching the show, send me one. I'll send you my address, please. I want to wear one of those hats.
The second hat's going to you.
We got to go. We got to get that squared away, for God's sakes. I love it. Well, we got so much to get into here today, of course, because Jeff and I didn't do a show earlier this week, so there's a lot for us to talk about here. We're going to try to shove it into an hour and 10-minute discussion before we get into your Streamlabs and Superchats. It is a Friday night. You're feeling loose. You're feeling happy. Thanks for joining us. Please make sure you send in your Streamlabs and your Superchats to keep supporting the show here as we keep doing it. And, of course, our big conversation that we're going to have in just a little bit is the AI conversation, Jeff. But first, I want to get into some other things that are going on here that broke just before we got on air. And this situation is apparently on tap. What are your thoughts on this? Jason Bateman is directing Tom Holland in a film here, and he is going to, this is going to be happening very soon. This is interesting. It's called The Partner. And this is according to Deadline. It's an adaptation of John Grisham's novel, The Partner. And it will be Tom Holland playing Patrick Lanigan, a Biloxi lawyer who fakes his death, steals $90 million from his corrupt firm, and starts a new life in South America. But when the client he swindled comes after him, Patrick is forced to face the FBI and the family he abandoned. Apparently, Jeff, the project is moving very quickly. They're putting this in motion. And it could be shooting as early as this year, which is crazy considering Spider-Man is probably still being shot, and there'll probably be a reshoot. So what are your thoughts on this, following up Odyssey and Brand New Day with a film like this?
I like it. I think this is exactly what Tom Holland needs.
Yeah.
Okay. This is going to give him a chance to really show his acting muscles. I mean, obviously, to flex his acting muscles. Obviously, he's going to, be a major part of the Odyssey next summer. Right. But that's still like a big Christopher Nolan blockbuster, right? Like Christopher Nolan is the one who is he's the sell.
He's the name, right? Exactly, 100%.
Just like Spider-Man is the sell. Right. This is going to be sold on Tom Holland. Is he a movie star or not? This movie will live or die with him. Jason Bateman, I think, is a really good director. I mean, I'm a big fan of Ozark. I love Black Rabbit. I think it's the most watched show right now on Netflix. So I have been very much waiting for Jason Bateman's next feature. I know he's announced a whole bunch of things, and nothing has really stuck. This feels like it's going to stick. It's kind of funny. I was asking about this project this morning, asking around hey, any updates? And then Deadline dropped this story. So it was well-timed. And yeah, I really like this pairing. I grew up on, you're a little bit older than me, but I grew up on these Grisham adaptations.
100%.
I fucking love The Client. I fucking love A Time to Kill. The Firm, The Chamber, a little less so. But I'm looking forward to this one. To me, I'm getting Rainmaker vibes a little bit.
Yeah. I think The Partner was the last one I read before I got off the Grisham train. But I read The Firm 8 times one summer. I read Time to Kill 3 or 4 times. And this was back in that time where I was just reading books over and over and over again. I mean,
I haven't read any of them. I haven't read any of them.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. No, I was all of them. And Michael Crichton, Sphere, I would read that over and over again. I love these kinds of books at that time in my age, in my 20s. So I'm excited to see what they do. So you're right. The Rainmaker vibes, energy. And Jason Bateman has a bit of a mixed feature film director resume, but on TV, he won the Emmy for
but he wasn't really like Jason Bateman yet. Like, I don't like, I think of like Bad Words. Like, Jason Bateman's come a long way since Bad Words.
And The Family Fang. Those are the two that he did. But Bad Words had its defenders. Bad Words had its supporters.
I like Bad Words, but I'm just saying he wasn't Jason Bateman the way who he is today. So this feels like the first feature that he's making as that version of Jason Bateman, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think he's an amazing guy, dude. I mean, still in it since the 1980s. He's still in it all these years, 40 years later, man. He is a lifer in the business, and he keeps evolving, as you said. This version of Jason Bateman.
Did you watch Black Rabbit yet?
Not yet. I've got that on the queue for this weekend.
So
I will be watching that one, ripping through it all weekend. So now that my lady has COVID, so we aren't going out anywhere or going to watch any of our shows. So I now have an excuse to watch it in one day. So we'll see. All right, let's move on to another story here before we get into our big stories we talked about. Jeff, Jordan Ruby over there at World of Real, your fellow gatecrasher, he is reporting that Amazon is quietly pushing Jacob Elordi to be the new James Bond. Now, we had heard news that it was going to be a Brit, although he's Aussie. It was going to be a young guy and a kind of fresh face, but
unknown.
I don't know. But do you think, I mean, Jacob I think a lot of people don't know who Jacob Elordi is, so it could still fit the criteria. He's not a Brit, but Kate Blanchett played Queen Elizabeth. So what do you think about this story?
Listen, I'm sure Jordan has a great source who fed him this. But frankly, I just think all the Bond reporting right now is complete bullshit.
Wow.
I mean, it's evidenced in the fact that one day Baz, who is the best sourced Bond reporter at Deadline, says it's going to be a young, unknown Brit. And then days later, we get Amazon wants Jacob Elordi, who's Australian. So these things are apples and oranges. And I think it just illustrates that there is no casting on James Bond. There is no script on James Bond. And there won't be any casting until next year. So everything that you're hearing for the next few months is just smoke and mirrors. It's just, we got to get on the page. We got to write something about James Bond. You know what? There's nothing to say.
All right, there you go. So ignore everything you've heard. There's nothing.
And it's like, it's also like, okay, maybe Amazon does want Jacob Elordi.
Yeah.
Who cares, right? Like they hired Denis Villeneuve to make the movie. He's gonna, hopefully he's gonna cast whoever he wants. And if he is not allowed to cast who he wants, guess what Denis Villeneuve's gonna do?
Move on.
Boop, 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 boop. So it's like, is this the first sign of, oh, this is why we're gonna have creative differences or whatever, and we're not gonna get
interesting.
Bond.
Like.
Who's making the decision? Is it Amazon who paid billions of dollars for the brand? Is it the director? Is it the producers? There are all these different factions. They all have to decide on one. Elordi, to me, again, it's just like this internet fan casting. Like, he's too tall, and I don't think he's James Bond.
Okay,
I don't really get that vibe.
You don't see it?
No.
No. All right.
No.
All right.
I don't know why he would want to do that either.
Well, he's starting out still. He's done what? Euphoria, The Kissing Booth, Saltburn, and now Frankenstein. He's been working with some interesting creators. Maybe there's a chance here to kind of do this, do other things, and then keep coming back to this as a steady source of income and elevate himself to the A-list status to be able to get bigger films along with the Bond stuff. It might be a shrewd career move, but I can also see what you're saying. This would kind of lock him into typecast him as a Bond.
Exactly. It depends what kind of career you want to have.
Yeah.
Like we didn't see Tom Cruise really do something like this. I mean, he's been playing Ethan Hunt for ages.
Right.
But I just feel like you're defined by this role then. And like, that's kind of what you are for the next couple decades. And if that's the career that he wants, then be my guest. But I don't know. I don't really see it.
Okay, fair point. This one is also deadline. Justin, your boy Justin Kroll here reporting this. What are your thoughts on this, Jeff? This is apparently happening. Ron Howard has set up his next film, Alone at Dawn, which is an adaptation of a nonfiction book by Dan Schilling and Lori Longfritz. It's set to start production November 10th, and he has locked down Adam Driver and Anne Hathaway confirmed as the leads in the film. Driver, this is kind of a military-themed project, so this would go along with Driver's former Marine status there. And they were going to star together in James Gray's Paper Tiger, but Hathaway stepped away from that one. So this apparently follows John Chapman, who would be the Adam Driver character, an Air Force combat controller who gave his life during the war in Afghanistan while saving 23 fellow soldiers, a sacrifice that earned him a posthumous Medal of Honor. So you hear this, Jeff? Does this make sense? Adam Driver, Anne Hathaway under Ron Howard's direction. Are you excited about this at all?
I mean, yeah, because I like this pairing, and I like Ron Howard, and the idea of Driver doing a military movie, I think is okay. I mean, I'd like to see him do something lighter. I'd like to see him be the guy that we see on SNL and go do a like I love that Star Wars, that's a Kylo parody or whatever that they do, right? Undercover Boss.
Yeah, Todd.
I just I don't know.
Wow.
Adam Driver's obviously like coming off a rough run. He's kind of like box office poison. Ron Howard's had a rough run himself.
Right.
I know that I've been tracking this project for a while. I know that they like redid it to kind of make it more like from the perspective of the wife, which is how they landed an Oscar winner like Anne Hathaway.
That makes sense.
I think that they beefed up that role a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm interested in it because I love Lone Survivor. Now in this case, this isn't about the lone survivor, right? This is about the guy who dies defending everybody.
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool. But yeah, I mean, it's it doesn't really get me stoked. Like, is this going to get a theatrical release? Is this going to be straight to Prime?
Yeah, I kind of feel like it's not.
Is this Prime?
No offense to Adam or Anne, but I don't see either of them putting butts in seats. I know Anne's going to do that with Devil Wears Prada, but that's more the Devil Wears Prada name, right? I think that's what's going to get people in seats to see that movie. Kind of like Freakier Friday. It wasn't Lindsay Lohan that was getting people. It was the Freakier Friday and bringing the whole cast back. It wasn't just Lindsay. So I think this is going to be interesting to see if what you said is this going to get a theatrical release or is this going to go to streaming? Because this is one of those kind of like middle films or mid-tier films. I don't mean quality, I mean money-wise, that like used to be you could bank on that film making some good money and people going to see it. It's not quite the landscape nowadays where films like
exactly. I mean, did 13 Lives get a theatrical release?
13 Lives? Oh, yes, I did see that. Yes, in the theater. I saw that in the theater. Yes. Okay,
so yeah, I imagine that this will get another one of those kind of cursory releases with a limited marketing budget. Yeah. Again, I think Ron Howard is a great director, but he's definitely lost a step.
Well, I don't think his style of films are what people are going for anymore. Like, and I think that must be something that comes through as he sees these box office returns for his. I mean, Hillbilly Elegy didn't do well. I went to Netflix. Sorry. Eden, nobody went to see Eden. 13 Lives only made like 55, I think.
13, how many is it? 13 Lives, 13 hours?
13 Lives. 13 Hours is the Michael Bay one.
Right. 13 Lives. That's what Fuck Jay Scoots.
And that was made for $55 million, the 13 Lives film. And I like this. It's a good film. He's a good director.
It was really good.
Yeah. I have no complaints about the quality of Ron Howard's work. I just think the public is not necessarily, and this is something to look at, Jeff. Like since 2008, Frost Nixon, Angels and Demons, The Dilemma, which nobody saw, Rush, which was a great film, nobody saw, In the Heart of the Sea, didn't get that much, Inferno, Solo, Hillbilly Elegy, 13 Lives, and Eden. That's not a strong resume since Frost Nixon.
13 Lives is the clear standout there, frankly.
Yeah.
And The Rescue obviously told that story better. But
right.
Yeah, again, I just Ron Howard, Adam Driver, Anne Hathaway, like what's not to like? All these people are really talented, but I think you're right that the marketplace may have passed them by.
Yeah, it happens. All right. What about this story that just broke earlier today, man? Tobias Menzies apparently is being eyed to play the founder of the Arkham Institute in the Batman Part 2. Now, I don't anticipate that you know a lot about the Arkham backstory in the Batman comic books, but Jeff, this does speak volumes about the kind of actor they're looking for to play these critical roles in this Batman Part 2. A much more complex, nuanced actor like Tobias Menzies, who's been in stuff from like Rome to Game of Thrones to The Crown to Outlander, and James Bond. So, what do you think about him being eyed for a big role here in Batman Part 2?
With grain of salt. Again, I haven't heard anything on Batman 2 casting. I don't know if this, I mean, I guess it makes sense that this character would be in the sequel because they kind of set it up with all the Arkham stuff,
right?
At the end with Paul Dano.
Yeah.
I think he's a good actor who also wouldn't like take the focus off of Pattinson.
Right.
Is this like the main villain role, or is this feels more like a supporting, just like a,
I think they're going to explore the elite of Gotham, and he will be part of it. Because remember, in the first movie, they add the wrinkle that Bruce Wayne's mom was in the asylum, in the Arkham Asylum. So, what's the connection here? What are the behind the scenes stories with these people, which is going to lead us to Court of Owls? So, yeah, I don't think he's going to be the main villain, but I think he'll have a significant role as a villain.
It passes the smell test. I mean, again, he's in F1,
right?
Which is the Warner Brothers title. / Apple.
Played a villain.
It makes sense. But yeah, I just, it seems like it's early days.
Yeah, fair point. All right, what about this? Let's get into this situation. What are your thoughts on this, man? Michael B. Jordan, Glen Powell. Is this going to happen for the Miami Vice pairing? I mean, this was like the dream pairing for a lot of people, but do you actually think this is going to happen, Jeff? And does it make sense to you that they're looking at these two to play Crockett and Tubbs in this film? Nexus Point News is reporting this just to give them a little bit of credit. So your thoughts on this? Does this pass your smell test?
I mean, it passes the smell test, but again, grain of salt, right? Like, is Michael B. Jordan really going to play second banana to Glen Powell?
Yeah.
And that, like, come on. Like, I know that this is a two-hander, but
yes,
Tubbs is always kind of riding shotgun to Sonny Crockett, right?
I mean, yes, but wouldn't that be the twist? And Glenn is the kind of actor that seems like he doesn't mind playing second banana. Like we saw in that film with Jonathan Majors, the military film, he played second banana in Top Gun Maverick.
That's so early. That's before he was a movie star.
Fine. Top Gun Maverick, he still played the guy who didn't necessarily get chosen for the mission, but does come in and be the hero. So I don't think he has that kind of ego where he needs to be the focus. Do you know what I'm saying?
And it's not so much about that for me. It's about salaries.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Does Universal pay for two movie stars for a movie that may not really like what do you think that this grosses? Do you think that this gets to 600 million worldwide like F1 does? No, this is like the kind of movie that does 250, 300 million worldwide tops.
Yeah, probably that. Yes.
So it's like, are we really going to pay Glen Powell's salary, Joseph Kosinski's salary, Michael B. Jordan's salary? To me, I think the smarter way to go is to do what F1 did, which is movie star and then up and comer. And there's a lot of up and coming young black talent that I think Glen Powell could be paired with and make it interesting.
Right.
But I don't know what the budget Universal has in mind. Obviously, this is Joe Kosinski's follow up to F1. They're going to give him a sizable fucking budget. It's probably going to be 150 to 180. So maybe they are just looking to splurge and they are looking to do two big movie stars together. And particularly with Michael B. Jordan so hot off of Sinners, maybe he's the one who sticks. And Glen Powell, that's the other thing. Glen Powell, Twisters.
Yeah.
Oh, man. How much of this IP that's already out there does he want to do? Or does he want to stick to originals? Now, this leads us into another story that I think is on our rundown, which is about Chad Powers.
Hey, now.
Chad Powers is getting shit on by critics because they have no sense of humor. And everybody likes to build up a star just to take him down. Everyone's like, why would Glen Powell do this? This is such a dumb show. Why would he do this? So he gets acting money. He gets created by money, right? Mm-hmm. Gets producing credits, gets writing credits. So he's getting paid 4 salaries for the show. That's why he does it. And the whole like, oh, like, is there going to be a second? Do they even bother bring back the shitty show for season 2? Well, when you have one of the biggest movie stars on the planet,
Yeah.
I like. How do you just pull the plug on this after one season? I think that I already know they're working on season 2 now. There is a writer's room putting together season 2. Now, it doesn't mean that it's greenlit, doesn't mean it's, officially been renewed, but that's what they have to do in the streaming age. They start writing, and then, depending on how the views go. And I think people are watching a lot, like whether they liked it or not, people like watch this show. I watched the 2 episodes that are available. I found them watchable. I found them entertaining. They're not, they can't, like, they're dropping at a tough time because there's so much good prestige TV right now, and this is not what that is, and this is not the next Ted Lasso,
right?
But like, are you really like watching these episodes on Hulu and being like, well, that was a waste of time? I think it delivers exactly what it promised.
Yeah, I would love to see the numbers for it before I give it any kind of props one way or the other. I did think it was an unusual choice, looking at it career-wise. I hear what you're saying. Of course, 4 salaries, who would want to turn that down? But it's just an interesting kind of like segue, because we know Glenn has been turning down stuff left and right because he's the flavor of the month. Everyone's like, Glen Powell, get me Glen Powell for this, Glen Powell for that. So the fact that he makes a little bit of a kind of odd left turn to go into a prosthetic show about a fake thing based on an Eli Manning sketch from ESPN, it's a really unusual turn for an up-and-coming actor to take. So I get the complaints or whatever, but if he had a good time and made some good money, fuck does he care? He still have Running Man coming out in November. That's the thing that you're really looking at. Is that going to make money? That, I think, is going to let us know if Glen Powell is a legitimate put butts in seats movie star. Is this guy taking the Tom Cruise torch and going forward?
The thing about Glen Powell is that, to me, one of his strengths is comedy. Mm-hmm. And so even in an action movie like Running Man, right? He's kind of like smirking. He's kind of like, he's a certain type of guy. I don't know that really fits what Miami Vice is supposed to be. So like, I wonder if he's the guy who is the odd man out. Obviously, I know Universal loves him.
Right.
They have a zillion projects in development with him. I don't know. There was something about this where it's like, maybe they are gunning for these 2 guys, but I don't know necessarily. Like, when I called Universal over the weekend, first of all, they were like, from what I understand, maybe these publicists are better actors than the actual stars. They seem to be pretty caught off guard.
Oh, by this.
Wait, what? There's a rumor out there that says what? Like, where's it from? That said, they didn't deny it. They didn't confirm. They didn't deny it. Right. So to me, it felt like Nexus getting their hands on a grid, which is where I think a lot of, stuff Nexus comes from, unless they're friendly with some assistant at a studio. I think that these guys are getting their hands on grids, and not everybody knows how to read a grid the correct way. Wow.
All right. Fair point. All right. So we'll see. But I mean, Nexus loves to crow about their Nexus exclusive, so maybe
it's a good scoop. But again, it's what the internet ordered. Right. And now we can keep doing that. And sometimes it's going to work, like David Cornsweet with Superman.
Right.
But I also don't think you can let the internet cast your movies for you. I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Okay. All right. Another thing we'll have to wait and see is Jerry Bruckheimer's been talking his mess, man. He's back to talk about Pirates of the Caribbean, and he is saying that the Margot Robbie is still involved in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie they're going to be doing next. He said, quote, talking to the Rap, he said, quote, we're working on a script. That's what we told friend of the show, Drew Taylor. If we don't have it on the page, it's going to get on the screen. And he also intimated that there were 2 previous developed competing versions of Pirate 6, but only one survived. And he claimed that Margot Robbie, who was once a rumor to lead a Scrap spinoff, remains attached to the franchise. She's still involved, but he didn't go into the Johnny Depp side of things, even though a lot of people were asking about it. So basically intimating that Johnny might not be involved. So what are your thoughts on this, Jeff? Because I mean, you talk about someone who's maybe not making a lot of box office since Barbie. It's Margot Robbie. So does this make sense to pair her with another big brand to make some money off of this?
I mean, if this is what Margot Robbie wants to do, and maybe after Big, Bold, Beautiful Journey, she does. Maybe she just wants to go, I mean, it's not like Barbie 2 is coming anytime soon. So maybe she just wants to go make some money and get, benefit from that global marketing campaign or whatever that Pirates would bring. But I don't understand here. You're developing 2 separate projects, right?
They were, yes.
only one's going to move forward. I mean, just like
One-
Ocean's 11. It's just like Margot's doing with that too. It's like, well, do we want another Danny Ocean, Brad Pitt, Matt Damon movie, or do we want Ryan Gosling and Margot Robbie? She's signing on to all these IPs that just aren't her IPs.
Ocean 11. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And so I don't know which one moves forward, but I think you can only go in one direction. You can't have like, well, we're going to do Johnny movies on even years, and then on odd years, you're going to get a Margot Robbie thing, which is completely different. No, that doesn't. It's just like Batman for me. It's like it's confusing to the audience, and it's a way to just burn out, right? That's what we were talking about with when Amazon got their hands on Bond. It's like we don't want a Bond movie every year. Okay, right. We want Bond to be special. We want Star Wars to be special, and then it became not special, and then it suffered at the box office.
Right.
So. You know, I guess I'd rather have a Margot Robbie Pirates movie than Johnny Depp Pirates movie because I'm not a fan of Pirates in general. I think it's a horrible franchise and one of the worst Oscar nominations of all time. If that Johnny Depp movie does move forward, you know who I think he's going to be in it with it, potentially.
Who?
And she's been rumored. Ayo.
Oh, Edibiri? Really?
Yeah.
That could be interesting. I like that idea. Interesting. Have you seen After the Hunt yet, by the way?
No, I haven't. I really want to. It really pissed off a friend and fan of the show who called and was like, "Oh, this movie just like made me mad. I can't wait for you to see it." And I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, me too. I think there's a screening next week, but I think it comes out next week as well. So I think they might just wait for it to come out in the theater and enjoy it there. Just a reminder, everybody, we're about 30 minutes in. Streamlabs Super Chats are open. We only have 4 Super Chats on a Friday with 400 of you watching right now. For God's sake, send in your love, send in your questions, thoughts, and comments on Streamlab and Super Chats. It's pinned in the chats in the description of the video as well. Let's move on to this, Jeff. What about this situation? Are you excited about this? This is apparently happening. We have the rumors are this will be a new director for the next Final Destination film. And I'm curious to hear what you think about this guy being attached here, Michiel Blanchart. This is apparently happening. So do you like this guy? Are you familiar with his work? Does it make sense? Are you surprised that the directors who did the previous one that made so much money aren't coming back? What are your thoughts on this?
This is the sound of me patting myself on the back. Okay. What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you? Watch Night Call on Hulu. One of the best feature debuts I've ever seen. Okay. This is the guy who directed Night Call. Go cancel your plans tonight. Sit down, open Hulu, watch Night Call. Great.
Right movie. After you watch Glen Powell.
Not somebody I would have thought of for Final Destination 7. He's not a genre. I mean, he's not like a horror filmmaker.
Right.
But love it. I was surprised that Stein and Lipovsky. I was both surprised and not surprised. I was surprised because they did a great job. Yeah. And you'd think that the studio would want to bring them back. Not surprised because they did such a great job. It's time to move on to bigger and better things. I'd also heard from somebody kind of close to the production that there was no way that they were coming back because they weren't particularly well liked.
Oh, wow. Okay.
But like, again, who gives a shit? They did an amazing job. Still the best movie I've seen all year.
Yeah.
Final Destination Bloodlines, no joke. The most pound-per-pound entertaining, satisfying movie I have seen all year. Stein and Lipovsky have a bunch of projects in development around town, so they're not hurting for work. And I know Warner Brothers does want them for something big, something else that's pretty big. Right. But this is a great hire. Like if they weren't going to come back for this, if they're like, no, we've got our hands full with other stuff, and they're developing The Traveler somewhere else, I think I love this. He's going to do great.
Yeah, just to let you guys know a little bit of background, Michiel Blanchart, as Jeff said, Night Call was the film, that was his feature debut. It's a collateral, it's been described as a collateral type movie, genre thriller. It swept the Belgian version of the Academy Awards, the Magritte Awards, earlier last year, winning 10 out of 11 nominations. He walked away with Best Film, Best First Feature Film, Best Screenplay, Best Director statues. But he had also done a short called You're Dead, Hélène, which was shortlisted in the Best Live Action Short Film category in the 2023 Oscars, which told of a man trying to break up with his girlfriend who happens to be a ghost and not at all happy to
want to watch that short. That sounds good.
Yeah. So it's a fascinating situation that he finds himself in, making the leap. Like, as you are making the leap now, because now people are back on board the Final Destination train. It made so much money with this previous directors for this. So now you've got to follow in the footsteps and deliver a good installment. But I also think this speaks volumes to the kind of eyes that the producers of this franchise have now, and the kind of directing talent they're looking to tap to bring new and interesting voices to the Final Destination franchise, Jeff.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting some new blood. Again, yeah. I think that Warner Brothers wants this movie out pretty quickly. I think you want to capitalize on the success. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this dated for May 2027.
Good point.
I think that Warner Brothers is really just trying to run it back. Like, they are trying to redo everything they did this year. Right? If this year is what worked, then this is what they want to do again as soon as possible.
Right.
So I think you're going to see a slate that looks very similar, with some, similar hires and choices and stuff. But again, Night Call, fantastic. If Hollywood is clamoring to get this guy's English language debut, kudos to New Line for landing him.
Right. All right, let's move on to the big story, Jeff. The title of the episode, let's get into it here. AI is apparently upon us here. Tilly Norwood, that you see there in that photo, she was trumpeted over at the Zurich Film Festival over the weekend by its creator, the owner of Particle 6, a Dutch actress, comedian, and incredibly intelligent person who graduated with a degree in physics and a master's degree in physics. So she has created this character, drummed up a bunch of interest in this. People were very upset in Hollywood because she had said that she wanted to create the next Scarlett Johansson, Natalie Portman, and that agencies were lining up to sign her. No big agencies actually came forward and said they were lining up to sign her. SAG-AFTRA issued a statement here. And this all comes on the heels of Lionsgate's attempts to create AI films falling flat on its face due to some legal complications all over it. So, people reacted. I read your column on this yesterday, so I want to get your thoughts there for people maybe who hadn't read the column. What do you think about this whole situation? Are people overreacting or properly reacting to
Jimmy Kimmel 2.0, folks? Much ado about nothing. If you are a talentless, ugly actor, yes, be nervous. But if you have a speck of talent and you are mildly attractive, you'll be just fine. Okay, she's not going to start taking jobs from Anne Hathaway, from Zendaya. Okay, that's not what's happening here. That's not how AI actors are going to be used. AI actors are going to be used to fill in the background. Okay, so you don't have to pay someone to stand on set. Like, I was just watching Law and Order SVU.
Yeah,
okay? At the main cast, and then you have some detectives in the background to make it look like a real police department.
Sure.
Those people will be AI, so they don't have to pay someone 8 hours to walk back and forth between scenes, between things all day. That is where AI, I think, will come in. Do I think that people want to see actors with AI? No, I do not. AI actors, no, I don't. Like, do I think that agents want to represent AI actors? No, I do not. I mean, probably a much, less of a hassle for them, right?
Sure.
But at the same time, none of the major agencies, again, this is a woman who no one had ever heard of.
Eline van der Velden.
Creator, right, Eline van der Velden or whatever.
Yeah.
No one had ever heard of her. Went on a panel halfway around the world, said one sentence about agencies wanting to sign her. Well, what agencies? Because WME has said that they're not signing her.
Right.
Gersh has said that they're not signing her. And if you think CAA or UTA is signing her, you're crazy. Right. Because, the idea, they are representing human beings, right? Those commissions are what keep the lights on, and you'd have a full-blown riot in the talent community if you signed Tilly Norwood and then started getting her jobs that used to go to humans.
Yeah. But here's what I'll say. I think you're right on a lot of things here. I was one of the people that talked about it on Tuesday night, and I was just highlighting it on Spill the Tequila and talked about the reactions. Whoopi reacting to it, Melissa Barrera reacting to it, a lot of actors reacting to it. Sean Astin, as the new president of SAG-AFTRA, I think was behind that statement that they issued in protest of this kind of stuff. But I think this is the first shot across the bow. As all these things, as always happens with these kinds of things, It is the one shot that starts the process. Now, I agree with you. Aline Vandervelden, she's not well known here in the States, but she does have a following in Britain, and she has a following on TikTok, on social media, very strong following. So that's how she's made her bones. She's incredibly intelligent to run an AI fucking facility called Particle 6 and do the things that she's doing. So she's no fool. I think she did this on purpose to get attention for it. And even today, Variety had an article today talking about what could happen with Tilly Norwood down the line. So she accomplished her goals and then issued a mealy-mouthed semi-apology after trumpeting all these agencies coming to sign Tilly Norwood. She was like, well, no, she's just a creation. She's not trying to replace anybody, blah, 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 which is in a way, what would happen to her, I think, if this thing took off. No one would want to hire her. But then again, what does she care if she can make money off Tilly Norwood being a part of the stuff? But I think there will be, we've got what IMAX is doing, an AI, all AI film festival. I think this is going to happen, Jeff. And I think the idea of, well, nobody wants to see AI actresses, I think that's going to die very slowly because the new generations of people coming up don't care about the stuff in the same way that you and I do. I think they're quite fine. They watch video games that are essentially cinematic as hell, and those are animated characters with AI thrown in.
And that's what she's going to wind up doing.
Well, I think we're going to see more. I think we are going to see it, not right now, but I think in 5 to 10 years, we are absolutely going to have TV series with all AI characters. We're going to have live action films that are all, well, live action technically with AI characters. I think this is totally going to happen. This is just the first shot across the bow. So although I think people are overreacting, I don't think they're necessarily wrong to feel that
people will watch out of a morbid curiosity. Okay. There's no way that, like, I'm not going to be watching a movie with Daniel Day-Lewis acting opposite an AI co-star. There's no way any of these big movie stars want to work with AI.
You're of the different time. I'm saying that the 15, 14, 16, the future of Hollywood, who are going to be paying to watch these movies, they don't have the same hang up that we do in the same numbers of seeing an AI versus a human being. They've grown up in a technological world where AI is essentially a second language to a lot of these people and how they function in the world. So I think you and I is not the basis for whether this is going to happen or not.
Listen, Joe Schmo in the apartment next door could be working on some Sora movie right now on Sora.
Oh, Sora, right, yeah.
Right. And that's going to have AI actors. Yeah. And people, it could get 200 million views on YouTube. Like that is what I think you'll see. But do I think that studios are going to start using AI? No. Not AI actors? No, I do not.
Yeah, because they're already using AI.
they are already using AI. But as a tool, okay? Right. I'm just fundamentally skeptical of it. Just again, maybe it's just from my own, because I haven't had to be worried about AI taking my job.
Yeah. So you say, but then
AI can't do what I do.
Oh no, yeah, fair. It can't break stories and all that. But like what you had to do in your newsletter, that was pretty shocking. And so the fact that it can do that quickly, I think I think every journalist should be afraid of that. Like I would run
money. It's about speed and money. So if you are trying to get a movie made and out if it's August and you're like, shit, I need a Christmas release.
Right.
Then you could get the AI actor, right? Or if you're like, shit, I want to make a $200 million movie and all I've got is 20 grand. Then you can get an AI actor. Right. But do I think like legit productions are going to like do this shit? No, I don't.
Not right now. I don't think right now, but I think it will come. The first time I think this is like talkies. The first time, not that I was alive when this happened, but from what I've read and my History of Hollywood book right here, like when talkies, people are saying the same thing about talkies. There's no way this will happen. Nobody wants to hear people talking on screen. They want to read the stuff. It's too many people. No one's going to pay attention. This is just like real life. They can just go outside and watch people talking. You ruin the uniqueness of movies by having people talk. And then the first movie came out, Jazz Singer, and it became a sensation. So if the first AI movie comes out and it's actually good and it makes a fuck ton of money, the studios are going to completely turn around on this whole situation and explore it more and more. So again, I hear you. I think you're right on a lot of characterizations on this overreaction, but I don't think it means that we're not going to see it in the future. I think we're absolutely going to see it in the future. And in little ways, they'll start nibbling through, and then it'll be that one thing that comes through that makes a massive difference. You know?
I really think, like MK Songbird says, eventually the AI bubble is going to burst. I do think that's the case. It's just like, what was the thing that everybody was freaking out about years ago, where it's like, we're going to, I don't even remember what it was called. It was like, you'd buy a digital image of something, the chimps. What am I talking about? The fucking chimps that would...
No. Huh? Oh, I don't know. The Sims? What do you mean?
No, the chimps that would sell for like $1 million and you get like an image. I don't even remember NFTs.
NFTs, yes.
NFTs were everywhere, and then they disappeared almost overnight. That is what is going to fucking happen.
You think?
AI. I just, and people are bringing up like musicians. It's different, okay? It's different if I'm listening to Taylor Swift, or I'm listening to someone who sounds like Taylor Swift but they're fake and they have great bops, and it's making me dance. That is different than something I'm seeing with my own eyes and someone who I know is fake. That's the other thing. It's the fact that we know that she's an AI actress, which breaks the illusion. If she just showed up in Law and Order, and I'm watching her, and I think she's a real person and she's not, that might be cool. But if I know that she's the AI actress, that's Tilly Norwood, right? It's like, it breaks the illusion. The wall is punctured.
But I know you, Jeff. You are a curious person. You will watch it out of curiosity. And if it's actually good, then what's your thought going to be?
If it's good?
I mean, if the uncanny valley thing is solved, that's the only thing that's missing, Jeff, is the uncanny valley. The eyes, you can always tell with the eyes. And once they solve that, everybody's fucked. I'm telling you this right now. Once they solve the uncanny valley thing, everybody is fucked. Because we've seen audience not give a shit about anything. They just want to be entertained. Audiences don't have the morality and ethics and principles that a majority of the artists or creative
audiences don't. But audiences don't make this shit.
Well,
right?
It's true. Right.
Someone has to pay for it. So I just don't see it being embraced on a wide scale in this town, where the executives have to go to lunch. They have to go to dinner at night. Don't they have to go to a restaurant? And is AI going to wait on them in the restaurant? No, it's going to be a fucking former actor who has now become a waiter because Tilly Norwood took their job. Good luck eating. Please eat that meal. Please. It'll be like Seinfeld. So I just don't... until we're living in a world with robots and AI, I just I don't see it. Even if there is to be made.
Yes, I'll tell me the specials, Glen Powell. What are the specials? But the whole thing though. But you know Hollywood, and you know how the Hollywood embraces technology as soon as it can make things quicker for them to do. They're already embracing AI in small ways. You're right, and not on the acting front, but certainly in all the other ways, they're starting to embrace AI more and more. So I just think it's a matter of time. I mean, I think we're just going to disagree on this, and there's nothing wrong with that. I totally hear what you're saying. I hope your version is the true version, but I know that town, man, and I know how they're always looking to cut the costs, dude.
So if I see 200 movies a year, maybe 220.
Sure.
How many of them are studio movies, and how many of them are indies? Because these are two different things that we're talking about. I don't know.
How many are there?
Because there was a trailer for a new AI movie directed by Feline AI, like Fellini, but Feline AI.
Yikes.
I didn't even watch the trailer, but people who did watch the trailer said, this looks stupid. And I just, what was the fucking point that I was trying to make with this?
I don't know.
I think that it's acting is different than these other jobs.
Of course, I know it is. As an actor, I know exactly it is. But I just don't think the public is going to have that same bar when they go see a movie or a film or a streaming film or whatever. I don't think they're going to have the same bar. They'll be piqued by the curiosity. And if you can come close, and a lot of these AIs have already come. I mean, go watch Rogue One and then watch a vlog AI.
Two different things. You're talking about consuming. You're talking about consuming the media. I'm talking about making the media. And that's what I just don't see it.
But look at something.
Not anytime soon.
Okay, well, let me put this out there. And I'm not trying to be political, right? The Daily Wire is a ultra right wing thing run by Shapiro or whatever. They love to stick the fork or the finger in Hollywood's eye.
Yes.
What if they were to fund an AI feature film? It comes out and it actually does well. Then people's percent, because they don't give a fuck about pleasing Hollywood. And
I completely agree. That's
Yeah.
exactly who is going to use the AI, John.
Yes.
I know what I was saying before. It was it was the fact that AI movie was produced by Andrea Iervolino. Right.
Okay.
And it's like you have to understand that half the movies that we see are made by legitimate people, and half of them are kind of just made by like randoms in Europe with money.
Yeah, whoever has money, right? Exactly, in Europe.
Call themselves producers. I mean, like Lady Monica Bacardi. Okay. Like I could name dozens of these producers whose names only come up in May and September around the Cannes market and and around Toronto. Like,
right.
These are just different businesses that we're talking about. So when you mention the Daily Wire, I think you're right.
Yeah.
A lot of actors don't want to work for Daily Wire, right? They don't want to be in those productions.
Yes.
So at that point, I could see Daily Wire making a movie with an AI cast. Absolutely. I think that's an excellent call, John.
Yeah.
But that's not Hollywood, right? That's not, I don't consider that Hollywood.
But, Hollywood is moving towards the right with Larry Ellison and all this kind of stuff. If the Daily Wire does it and is successful, then I think Hollywood will take notice. I would not put it past Ellison, who is, of course, Oracle connected. So technology is a big deal. I would not put it past them to do an AI film down the road. If a Daily Wire film does well for its audience, I would not be surprised if they did that over at Paramount, that being the first studio, because Ellison wants to turn Paramount into the kind of fuck you Hollywood studio. And so I think this would be a possibility down the road from them. I agree with you. Not the state, like Disney wouldn't do this, or MGM or these other studios, but Paramount now under Ellison's leadership, I think that's a very real possibility.
Again, I think that there are streaming services or channels that you'll be able to go to, and it'll be all AI.
Yeah.
And you say it's a hit. Yeah, maybe one or two things may pop and become successful. Do I think that AI actors are going to start infiltrating Hollywood blockbusters or start being the lead on the NBC sitcoms that we watch? No, I don't.
Not yet. But Jeff says no. I hear you. I hope you're right, brother. As an actor who loves my fellow actors, I hope you're right.
You are right in the sense that, that column that I wrote yesterday about Tilly Norwood, the column on top of that was about alignment. And that's the hot AI script that sold for $1.25 million against $3 million. And it was crazy. Like I fed it the script, and within not even 5 minutes, it was like 30 seconds. Fucking AI had read the script and given me all this analysis, and it was pretty insightful and kind of fascinating. And that, it would have taken a human being 2 hours to read the script, another 2 hours to write the coverage. So I think that AI will be used like that, and that will help. I understand the whole goal is to cut costs. Right. I just don't think you start cutting costs with talent.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, that's fair. But we'll see for sure. Good discussion, brother. Good discussion.
Likewise.
All right, let's just a reminder, we're almost at the hour mark. Please keep sending in your Streamlabs and super chats here. And what are your questions about AI? What are your questions about any of the topics we've covered already, the topics we're about to cover? Let us know what you want to talk about, what your feelings are. I do want to talk about this, Jeff. Speaking of real actors in real movies, the Smashing Machine is not tracking well right now. It's in a sleeper hole, destined for a $6 to $7 million in third place haul, opening in over 3,300 theaters. It was a $50 million production. It was funded largely by foreign sales. But Smashing Machine is hit tracking 3 weeks ago with a $20 million projection. It has since gone down. I think it opened to only $800,000 in previews last night. So I saw the movie. I liked him. The movie is good, not great, but he's great. But what do you think about the box office numbers for a movie like this, considering this is The Rock, this is Dwayne Johnson? People had all kinds of buzz about Oscars for this stuff. What are your feelings about why the numbers are so low?
Yeah, they're low. This is a bum. This is a bad bum. I'll tell you why it's a bomb.
Tell me. Tell us.
Because he just spent 20 years building a brand for himself, and this is outside the brand. This does not cater to his audience.
Yeah.
Nor and the prestige audience that might show up for this movie here's Dwayne Johnson is in it, and they're like, I'm out. So there's your, it's like a catch-22. You want to reinvent yourself, and you can reinvent yourself, The Rock, right? Yeah. The problem is you can't reinvent yourself when there's $60 million on the line, right? If you want to go star in a $5 to $10 million indie, that's the way to do it.
Right.
But this is a wide release, and I think A24 just overestimated the audience for this movie, and the whole we're gonna get all the UFC bros to see this. Yeah, this is like a drama, right, from Benny Safdie. This is not what the UFC audience wants to see. They want to see him in the ring kicking the shit out of everybody, not losing, which is what happens.
Right.
And
substance abuse. Yeah.
Again, I think he's really good. He's better than the movie. That's the other thing. If the movie is better, the movie's good, but the movie's not great.
No.
And if the movie was great, that might get the prestige crowd in and be like, well, we have to see this.
Yeah.
But if the movie's but The Rock is really good, and people are like, well, I don't really care about The Rock. And his fan base is not showing up to support him. That is the perfect formula for a bomb.
I think there's a lot of things, and you hit on a lot of points, and I think you're correct on all of them on why this thing. He chose a movie that is in between both of his brands, right? And it's not Fast and Furious, so the brand. But then but there are a lot of people who love The Rock and want to see him test himself and show if he can act or not. But then you choose a film about a little-known UFC MMA fighter from the early days of UFC MMA when they were struggling to get any views on their content. So a lot of people don't know him. If you were doing The Rock as Conor McGregor, this film would make much more money. Obviously, a different kind of film, but that would make more money. But nobody knows Mark Kerr that much. And there's no offense to Mark Kerr. Respect and appreciate what he did and what he laid the foundations for. But people don't know him. So there's not that kind of brand name awareness to get people in the theaters who would be curious to see this stuff. And the fact that this is not a great film, I think that hurts it. And you're right, with the UFC crowd, they don't want this Benny Safdie nerd directing a UFC MMA. If you have someone like Gavin O'Connor who radiates this kind of masculine energy, then you go see Warrior. But Safdie not so much with something like this.
Well, Joel Edgerton starred in Warrior, and who stars opposite him?
Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Who stars opposite Dwayne Johnson?
It's Emily Blunt.
Exactly.
Ryan Bader.
You're selling selling here is a relationship drama. You're selling a love story that overcomes the challenges of substance abuse or whatever.
Right.
I think it was Variety. I forget which fucking review it was. But it was a great point. It was this movie should have been about Mark Kerr and Mark Coleman.
Yeah.
That's who, why is Emily Blunt the second lead?
100%. That's the best relationship in the movie. Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I actually really did like the Rock and Emily Blunt stuff. But the problem is that the movie focused too much on the fighting. If it had just been a relationship drama, it tries to have it to eat it, have its cake and eat it too. It tries to have it both ways. Either make the relationship drama with Emily Blunt, or make a fucking fight UFC movie and have Mark Coleman, be the co-star. Also, probably should have been, played by, even though Ryan Bader does a fantastic job. If I was going to make this the Mark Kerr, Mark Coleman story, you need another movie star essentially.
Right. Agree with you 100%. The problem, yes, I agree. The Rock and Emily Blunt have great chemistry. You buy them when they're in love with each other in those moments, and you buy them when they're fighting with each other, especially in that scene in the bathroom near the end, which is really insane. They're believable, and their chemistry is electric. The problem is the film doesn't give you enough in between those scenes to lead us to the emotional beats of those scenes. And we're just handed that this is the new thing going on in their relationship. This is the next thing they're upset about. And that kind of leaves you a bit distant from caring about that relationship, even though those scenes are great. You get much more with Coleman and Kerr and their progression of their friendship and their relationship. That scene in the hospital room, that scene where they're having conversations about training and all that. There's more there. So yeah, I agree. That's where the film kind of falls. I thought Benny did a nice job with the direction of the movie. It's an unusual kind of 70s influenced 90s film, but in the end, it's too distant for people to connect with the characters enough to like make this a rousing spectacle that people have to go see.
Amy Nicholson wrote a good review today for LA Weekly, I think it was. Just kind of being like, he kind of just like shot the documentary all over again. And so there's no real reason for this movie to exist. Being back in Boston, this past week, so Jamie just moved to Boston with his lovely wife, Anna. I had breakfast with Jamie and caught up with him in person. And he's just like, listen, man, The Rock has burned the audience, right? Too many times, like plain, like they're just not buying the whole, like, I've changed routine. And he's going right back to the blockbuster stuff with Moana too, right? The live action Moana. So I just don't think that the audience is willing to go on this journey with him. But yeah, it's looking at like a 7 or 8 million opening. It's bad.
I think Jamie's absolutely right, because I mean, he went to WWE, burned the audience at WWE by being egotistical and a jerk, then does the Black Adam bullshit and burns the DC universe by lying about the negative stuff that went on behind the scenes with Black Adam, and then comes and says, well, I was forced to do blockbusters. And so anyone saying with a half a brain is like, what are you fucking talking about? You wanted to do this shit. So in a way, he kind of burned everything around. So Jamie, I think, is 100% right on that. And the audience is like, all right, fine. They don't need, that's the thing. Audiences don't need to care about you. You've got to make them care about you. And if you keep burning all the bridges where you go, don't be surprised that they don't show up for your movie. I show up because The Rock will never be able to do anything aside from maybe murdering people that'll make me stop going to support the stuff he does, because I love him as a person. But not a lot of people feel that way who are regular moviegoers. They're just like, well, doesn't look interesting, and fuck him, and I think that's what's happening here in the long run.
I just hope that The Rock doesn't take this to heart and get discouraged and say, fuck, nobody wants to see me do this. All right, I'm going to go back to doing the same shit I did before. Like, you know what, Rock? Stick with it, Dwayne, because if you make enough of these movies and you earn that goodwill from the prestige crowd that does show up, word of mouth spreads, then people will start showing up to these kinds of things. It may have just been too much too soon. I don't know. It may have all, I mean, it's off-putting in the sense that like women don't want to see this movie, even though Emily Blunt is the co-star and there is a bit of love story. I mean, women have no interest in this at all.
Yeah. Which is, and exactly. Which speaks about the marketing of this thing. Well, because he's got Moana. He's got 13 other projects: Moana, Jumanji 3, Fast X Part 2, the King film that he's supposedly doing, San Andreas 2, the Big Trouble in Little China remake, that Lizard music one that was announced, the Hawaii set crime drama, Jungle Cruise 2, Doc Savage. I don't think half of these things happen. And Lizard music might go the way of the dodo if this film isn't going to make any money. But this could, in the end, though, I mean, will it serve a purpose, though, Jeff, before we leave this conversation? If he gets nominated for a Best Actor, will it serve?
Yes. Then who cares about the money?
Okay.
And I think that the performance itself merits a nomination.
I agree.
I think he deserves a nomination. Yeah. I don't understand when I see people like freaking out about Leonardo DiCaprio in One Battle After Another, and they're like, "Oh, he's going to win his second Oscar for this." What? Like, really? Dwayne Johnson is better than Leonardo DiCaprio, I think, on just a performance level. I was really impressed with what Dwayne did, and I thought Leo was the weak link of his movie, which speaks to the strength of the ensemble around him, of course. But I was really impressed here, and I hope that he does get it. I hope A24 doesn't give up on campaigning him and just pivot to the other Safdie brothers movie and Timmy and throw all its weight behind them.
Yeah, probably. And if you guys want to see my review, it is up on the channel. I put it up this morning. It's about 9 minutes going into the things that I liked and didn't like about the movie. So make sure you check that out as well. All right. What else do we talk about? Let's talk about this. What about this, man? The Invisible Man 2 is apparently possibly in the works here. The film was made on a $7 million budget, made $144 million. For those who remember, this was right before COVID shut down all the theaters. I remember this being the last screening I went to before they shut down all the theaters, but Elisabeth Moss is being interviewed in Screen Rant, and she said about Invisible Man 2, we still want one, so we're still working on it. And she said the only obstacle is to find the right script, but apparently Leigh Whannell is not coming back to be a part of this thing at this point. So, Jeff, is this just her being nice and answering cutely, or is there something being done here?
No, I don't think that there's anything. I mean, I thought that movie was terrific.
Yep.
Leigh Whannell did a great job. It's a one and done. I don't see how you sequelize it. And I don't think, I mean, Elisabeth Moss, man.
Yeah.
No, that's a no.
I have a, go ahead.
If you did another one, I would just want to see another Invisible Man story with a new cast.
Oh, yeah.
I need to bring back her character.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there. I thought she was incredible in the film. I've always had a crush on Elisabeth Moss. So seeing her get a chance to lead a film, and a film as good as this, I thought she brought her A game as an actress to the film. And so I wanted more, but this
would it be the same? Would it be the same asshole boyfriend, or is it like, geez, now I'm going up against another Invisible Man? Like,
yeah, I know. Well, maybe she'd be like, what were those films that would occasionally bring back the star of the first film for like a quick scene talking about the situation? Maybe she'd do a cameo in a sequel. But I agree with you. You can go a completely different direction with a whole nother couple or a whole nother situation. That would be the way to do a second Invisible Man. I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on this, man? We're getting this. Kill Bill. It is happening. The whole fair finally set to hit theaters on December 5th. It'll be released from Lionsgate. It'll be an uncut 248-minute cut of both Kill Bill Volume 1 and Kill Bill Volume 2. It'll be released in 70mm and 35mm format. And apparently there's going to be 7 extra minutes animated stuff involved. That is going to be a part of this. So, Jeff, you and I are Tarantino heads. This is a great fucking announcement.
Yeah, I love it. I didn't get to see the whole bloody affair or whatever at the Vista when it was screening here in LA. I missed it.
Yeah.
And I felt bad about that. I was like, oh shit, this was my chance to see it. Now I'll never get to see it. Guess what? You're going to get to see it. Oh, did you miss Good Night and Good Luck on Broadway? Yeah. Did you miss Good Night and Good Luck on CNN when it aired that one night? Yeah. Guess what? It's going to be streaming. Everything's going to wind up streaming. So you're never going to miss anything again, really.
Thank God.
Yeah, I haven't seen Kill Bill in years, and I'm going to wait. I almost watched 1 and 2 because I missed Bloody Affair, and I was like, oh, okay, I just want to revisit it. But the fact that it's coming out now, I'm going to wait for December, and I can't wait to check it out.
Yeah, me too, man. I recently just bought them because Amazon had a sale on their 4Ks, and I bought both 1 and 2 for like $22 because I love it. That's my second favorite Tarantino film. Because I don't ever split them up. Whenever I watch it, I always watch it back to back.
You consider this one movie?
Yeah, I do 100%. And I was look, Harvey Weinstein did some terrible things in life, and aside from the things he was accused of and convicted on, one of the biggest fucking mistakes he ever made, or horrible things he ever did, was splitting this movie up into 2 films instead of having the guts to release the film as Tarantino intended. So the fact that we're going to see it this way, for me, I'm crazy excited. I wasn't going to buy Odyssey tickets a year ahead of time. I wasn't going to. The 70mm motherfucking Whole Bloody Affair, as soon as they go on sale, I'm buying 2 tickets just because I don't want anybody sitting next to me so I can sit there and enjoy it. Yeah.
It is long, though. I mean, to see both those movies back to back, and to me, I've always preferred 1 to 2. The second half of part 2 does drag a little, and that's when you're really going to start feeling it, when you've already been seated in the theater for 3 hours. So I'm a little nervous about that.
No, but
yeah, I'm very curious to see how these things play. And yeah, like you said, to see Quentin's original vision.
I agree. What about this news, Jeff? What do you think about this? John Wick is apparently having a samurai Western version that's happening here. Do you buy any of this? Does it feel like bullshit to you, or what are your thoughts on this? Is it happening? Is this the way you want to go with the John Wick franchise until Keanu comes back?
Bro, this franchise is so played. Like I don't know what they're doing. I mean, this is just Lionsgate. You can hear it. You can hear the scrape of the barrel there at the bottom. I mean, Ballerina flopped. Oh. You're telling me that a fucking Donnie Yen Kane movie is going to pack them in? And then, and now there's, I mean, I don't know if this is the same project that they're talking about, the Kane and the Samurai Western, or what.
Yeah.
Because it seemed like the Samurai Western, the first I'd heard about it, and I don't know where you got it, but it was in Variety's like 10 screenwriters to watch thing.
Yes. Yeah.
What a weird place, if that is a separate new project, what a weird place to break that news.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that reference is to the Kane movie,
right?
But either way, no one wants to see John Wick without John Wick. Even the Continental, which I thought was really good,
You
One
did.
best
I know.
movie
You
Jack
liked
has
it.
ever done. Nobody watched that.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree.
Nobody watched
Nobody watched that. Yeah.
I was the only person. So, yeah, I think this is a bad idea, and I think Lionsgate's probably got to cool it a little bit on the John Wick stuff. I get that you only have so much IP.
Yeah.
Hunger Games, I I get milking that, but John Wick without Keanu Reeves, what are we doing?
As you said, this was from a Variety article. Austin Everett was interviewed as one of the up-and-coming writers they were highlighting in this, and it just says this is one line. He also penned an original samurai western set in the John Wick universe, saying, quote, that's probably as much as I can say on that. So, yeah, I mean, there's only so much to be taken from this, but it's a curious idea, but I agree with you, man. I think the more they veer away from Keanu Reeves, the more it's a law of diminishing returns, because people clearly only fucking care about Keanu in the John Wick universe and nobody else. They tried with the ballerina stuff, didn't really work. The Continental, you like the brother relationship, didn't, where nobody saw it. You're 100% right. And so I think it's one of those franchises that is very dependent on its lead, and it won't be as successful without it.
Yeah.
And I'll be curious. So go ahead, Jeff.
No. Finish
Let's finish my point real quick. I'll be curious to see if they go forward with the Mission Impossible franchise without Tom Cruise. Will it be as successful, or is it only be successful because of Tom Cruise? You know?
I just like Keanu. There is a layup sitting there. Okay, it's not Billy Ted, which you went back to. It's not Constantine 2, which is in the fucking news today about how he's finally happy with the script.
Yeah.
It's not the fucking Matrix, because that fourth movie was almost unwatchable. Okay, and it's not this franchise either.
Yeah.
Go back to Speed and just do Speed 3. Get Sandra Bullock and do Speed 3. What are we doing?
I feel like she would do it. It's not like Sandy is leading big films anymore. I think she would totally do a Speed 3. And we're in the age of nostalgia now, Jeff, where people, I mean, I was reading today how Scrubs has hired 9 actors to be a part of this. Like, everything is coming back from the 90s or 2000s. So why not bring back Speed and do a Speed 3 with those two?
100%. Dude, yeah. I want to see a crew cut again. Get rid of this fucking John Wick hair. I'm sick of his haircut.
I don't think he'd still have the same haircut.
I want a fucking crew cut on Keanu Reeves again.
Oh, fair point. Fair point. Oh, man, the one thing we didn't talk about, I suppose I should bring this up. I'm sorry I haven't, Jeff. P. Diddy, he was convicted today. 4 years in prison. What are your thoughts on the conviction, man? He actually put him in jail.
We'll see if he survives.
What? You think Diddy's going to die in jail? Dude, no way.
Dude, imagine the fucking target on that guy. How many guys are going to want to be the guy who drops a fucking dumbbell on Diddy's face when he's in the yard?
Diddy has so much money, bro. He's going to be running a criminal empire out of that prison. Are you crazy?
That's the thing. I don't know if he's going to be the king or if he's going to be turned into like the bitch. Like,
no
we don't care who you are. Bad boy for life. We're going to show you what a real bad boy is. Give me the fucking baby oil.
Look. He was able to, in essence, fight an East Coast versus West Coast rap war without being a legitimately good rapper. I mean, he was able to do that and control or work with these rappers on the East Coast who have legitimately killed people. So, like, I think he's one of these guys that just radiates that kind of energy that if you go near him, he will fuck with you if you let him. So, you know, he's ruthlessly smart, and I think he'll be just fine in prison. But I am surprised they put him in for 4 years, man. That's a shock to me.
What, you think that's too long?
No, I thought, not that I think he's too, I think it should have been in for 20 to 30 years, but I'm shocked they didn't do the celebrity discount of 6 months. Do you know what I'm saying? Or a year.
Yeah, I mean, I actually thought it was just like kind of perfect. I don't think that this guy really needed to go away for 10 to 20 years. But I'm glad that he didn't just get a slap on the wrist. And this is, 4 years, he's going to probably wind up doing 3. Don't you think?
If that.
Yeah, 2.5, 3.
They're probably going to keep appealing this thing until, and they're probably going to get Trump to jump in because they've been saying Trump said he would actually look at it and he might even get pardoned.
Listen, maybe this guy lives like Goodfellas behind bars and he's got the grocery deliveries and all that. But I'm telling you, I also think there's a lot of guys in prison looking to make a name for themselves, by being the guy who fucking got P. Diddy or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know what kind of security. I'm just probably a minimum security prison or wherever. He's probably going to go to country club prison or something. But
totally. White collar.
Yeah, you know what? I I was happy with the verdict or the sentence today.
I was happy he got convicted because you read some of those details and it is.
Yeah, he deserves to do some jail time. Before we move on to the next thing, I need to ask the big question to the audience, guys. Do I look thinner? Because I have not had any soda this week and I haven't had any French fries and I was sick, basically the last 2 days. So I also just haven't eaten much in general. But I hope I went home. Dad said something. One of my best friends said something. They're like, dude, you're chubbing up a little bit.
Oh, wow.
So I'm gonna do this for the month. I'm committed.
So what's the got Ozempic?
No, I can't afford Ozempic, bro.
Well, bro, it's not going to happen in 1 week, bro. You're going to see results in a few.
I know. I'm just saying. Is it a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. It's good. Looks good.
Thank you.
Good. I appreciate it. Not to do ass, but I'm down 50 pounds. 50 pounds now. I'm going to hopefully get to 55 in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. But somebody who's in fantastic shape, let's talk about it. That is Stephan James, who is taking over apparently to play Apollo Creed. He has signed on to star opposite Anthony Polito, and I Play Rocky, an MGM Studios Amazon film that looks at the making of the Best Picture Oscar winner Rocky. And this is directed by Peter Farrelly of all people, and it is a theatrical release. So, do you like this casting? He's from If Beale Street Could Talk and other projects. Do you like him as Apollo Creed, man?
I do. I think Stephan James is really talented. I was pushing for him to get the Lanterns role.
Oh, yes.
Over Aaron Pierre.
Right.
I mean, I've been following this guy's career since he came on the scene. I think it is good casting. He doesn't really strike me as he doesn't seem to have a real Carl Weathers personality. He seems a little bit more quiet and reserved, but he's not playing Apollo Creed. He's playing Carl Weathers.
Carl Weathers, right? And
to be fair, I don't know. What the real Carl Weathers was really like. Maybe he was a little bit more reserved than the characters he typically played. It's a weird project in general for me, but I like Peter Farrelly. I think he's turned a page in his career and he's doing interesting work. I loved Green Book. I know, people hate that movie and whatever, but I think it was a very deserving Best Picture winner. And so I am curious about this movie. This is the an underdog movie about the greatest underdog story of all time.
Yeah, it's going to be fascinating to see how it goes, because Carl Weathers was a linebacker for the Raiders before he became an actor. So how big is Stephan going to get? I want to see how big Stephan's going to get to play this role and if he'll radiate that. I think that's all.
I think it's weird that people are like, it's weird that Sly's not involved in this. Was Francis Ford Coppola involved in The Offer?
No, he wasn't. Yeah. So you do what you can. And Stallone's off doing Lion King, Tulsa King, which is it's good so far this season. Kevin Pollak holding his own. I love it. I think that's all the stories I had, Jeff. Real quick, Taylor Swift. Have you listened to her album yet? It's only 43 minutes. Have you listened to the whole album yet or not? Are you a Taylor Swift person?
Bro, what are you, soft? No, I haven't listened to the Swift album.
Bro, I've known you listen to some pop ladies, so please don't even. Who are you trying to?
I have been listening to a little bit of pop lately, but no, I haven't checked out the Taylor Swift album. I don't think that she's the greatest songwriter of her generation. I'm not rushing to see her movie this weekend. Poor The Rock. I mean, he thought he had this date all to himself, and then Taylor a few weeks ago just comes out of nowhere and it's just like, boom.
I just put music videos out, bitch, and I crushed you. I just put music videos out.
I'm just amazed by it. I don't know another pop star who everyone goes through the lyrics with a fucking magnifying glass.
Of course.
Crazy to me. Who else do they do this for? Do they do this for Justin Bieber albums?
I think no, not Bieber. I mean, they did this with Olivia Rodrigo when she dropped her album a year ago or two, where she kind of the illusions and vampires supposedly about Taylor. But I mean, her coming for Charlie XCX is laughing her ass off at that shit. Well, let's make another left turn. What about Monster Ed Gein that is coming out? Did you see it? It comes out today, right? Or next week? Or is it today?
I'm hoping. I'm planning to watch it this weekend. It's at the top of my list. But there's also The Lost Bus.
Oh, is that out this weekend as well?
It is out on Apple today as well. There is also The Hunt, which is this new show on Apple. It's like a French show that sounds awesome.
Okay.
It's like about a group of hunters who like mix it up, like get into a beef with like another group of hunters in the woods. And then, time goes by and like one of the groups of hunters starts stalking the other group of hunters. I don't fucking know. It sounds cool.
Okay.
And then there's something else that I wanted to watch this weekend. Oh, Derry. Welcome to Derry, which I've heard is really good.
Yeah, I've gotten the first 5 episodes of that one, so I want to watch that as well. Did you see Play Dirty at all? I turned it off
yesterday.
I turned it off after 45 minutes, man. I couldn't do it. So I rolled.
It was funny. I watched about a half hour on the plane, then I fell asleep because I cannot stay awake on planes. The air pressure just puts me out. So when I woke up, I finished it, or I actually went back and, because I was like, I'm listening to it even while I'm sleeping.
Right.
So then I watched it. It's a weird movie. I actually think I thought it was okay.
Yeah.
All things considered, but a weird movie. It was weird casting. Yes. Rosie Salazar I did not care for.
No, I thought she was miscast in that movie. Not because she's not good. She's a good actress. I just think, why are you playing second, third banana to these two? Like, come on, you're better than this.
What do you think? You think she's better than? No, I don't think she's very good. And I think she was one thing 10 years ago in Alita, and then 10 years go by, and it's like, why couldn't this have been Adria Arjona or something? Like,
she probably turned it down.
Love her. It's just a weird tone because it's a Parker movie, so it's supposed to be like pretty serious.
Yeah.
Mel Gibson played the character, Jason Statham played the character, but like with Wahlberg, it's not that Wahlberg is really being humorous, but Shane Black can't help himself.
Yeah.
With the tone of some of this stuff. Some of it really works. Like the action impressed me. I was surprised at how big some of the action sequences were and chase sequences were.
Yes.
I spent some fucking money on this movie. But when Shane Black is like in an interview recently, he's like, we're not doing any of that fucking Mission Impossible shit. I'm like, really? Like, I'm watching Lakeith like fucking Lakeith is like dodging falling trains that are falling out of the sky. Like, yeah, you kind of are doing the same CG stuff. I'm not surprised this was streaming only. This would have absolutely cratered on theatrical release if you had done a marketing campaign. Because Marky Mark, it just ain't what it used to be.
Nope. The times have passed Mark by, unfortunately.
However, that wasn't the only Mark Wahlberg project I watched last night.
Oh, what'd you watch?
Mark Wahlberg and his company, I think it's Unfiltered Ideas, which is run by this guy, Archie Gips, who I met when I first, maybe even before I got to LA. I've known Archie Gips for 20 fucking years at least.
Okay.
They produced this series, Cocaine Quarterback. Have you heard of this?
No. It's
really good, and you would really like it.
Okay.
It's a 3-part docuseries on Prime Video about this guy, Owen Hansen, who was a fucking walk-on on the USC football team in the days of Reggie Bush and Matt Leinart. And he became a fucking kingpin. He basically became, a guy who's working for the cartel.
What?
From Redondo Beach. And it was pretty fucking interesting. I thought it was a fascinating docuseries. So if you're looking for something, you don't have Derry screeners, and you don't want to watch the violence of Ed Gein, definitely check out Cocaine Quarterback on Prime Video. Thumbs up.
Okay. I might watch that.
Did you like McMillions?
Yeah, I like McMillions. I thought that was good. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's the same company.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Respect. All right. Well, let's get into some questions here, Jeff. We got a few of these. Not as many as we usually have, but we'll get through them. Let's talk about it. Dennis Hoffman says, lots of love, fellas. Jeff, awesome article last night. I work at an ad tech company where every email/PR piece is written by ChatGPT. Truly interesting times. Yeah.
I think a lot of shit that you're reading is written by ChatGPT, whether people want to admit it or not. I'm telling you, if I could show you my entire ChatGPT history or whatever, it would take 3 minutes to read it all. I never open the app. I never use it. The only time I did it was when my buddy came in for the Oasis concert. And he says he uses AI all the time in his job. So, I was just telling him about this AI spec that I read. Yeah. And he was like, we should see what, ChatGPT thinks about it. So thank you for saying that, Dennis. I thought it was an interesting article too, but it had that specific hook. I wouldn't have AI do coverage of the new Batman script.
Right.
I'd want my own coverage of that. But yeah, to have AI on AI, I thought it was pretty interesting. By the way, speaking of coverage, I did, every now and then on Facebook, you see like old coverage circulate. You see that stuff sometimes.
Yeah.
And this week they had Boogie Nights was going around.
Hey.
It was, first of all, it was recommendation, no. Story, poor. Dialogue, poor. Characters, poor. I was like, holy shit. Like, I'm glad some, like Mike DeLuca, basically, a New Line fucking stepped up to the plate and made this movie. I don't know how Boogie Nights read so horribly on the page to 20th Century Fox's readers.
I think a lot of groundbreaking films don't read that well on the page because it's about the director and what they're going to do with it. Yeah.
To be fair, I passed on Juno. If you read my, like, I don't know if I could ask Luke for it, but I did coverage on Juno for Luke, and I passed on it, and then it went on to win the fucking Oscar for Best Original Screenplay. So what do I fucking know?
JMH says, got to see a couple of 2026 movies at Beyond Fest. Primate was great, but Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die was awful, an all-time mess.
I heard it was cool.
There you go.
I mean, I'm not denying you, JMH. I could absolutely see it being an all-time mess. I think Gore Verbinski is not a very great director. But I heard from some people who thought it was pretty neat. Primate, I'm very much looking forward to. Troy Kotzer's in that one, and he was pretty excited about it.
Speaking of Beyond Fest, I was invited to Beyond Fest by the publicist for Sisu 2. They were going to pay for my gas to drive up and watch the movie there. And unfortunately, I couldn't get out of stuff I was recording that night, but I want to shout out in case they watched the show. Thank you very much for the offer.
That's where you say, oh, you want to be coverage on the hot mic? Why don't you invite fucking Jeff Zeiner? Because he was the original Sisu fan. The guy who fucking wrote to Jalmari Hollander's agents and were like, this guy should be directing Marvel movies. I am pumped for Sisu 2. I've heard it's awesome. I can't fucking wait for that movie.
Yeah, me too. I'm looking forward to
Drew
it. Taylor
in the chat saying he's going to bat for Good Luck, Have Fun, Don't Die. Said it was terrific.
Drew, you're in here? Nice. Good to see you, Drew. Good interview, brother. Good interview. We covered it earlier in the show. What else are we moving on to here? Oh, yeah. Fantastic 314 says Sphere was the book that first gave me the idea that stupid aliens could exist. Yeah, Sphere is an excellent book, man. I hated that movie because I love that book so much, and they did not do it justice. Yeah. Sharon Stone and Dustin Hoffman. Give me a fucking break. Kate Van D says, love the hat, Jeff. I agree. We have to work something out there.
We'll figure it out.
Evelyn says, is Marvel really only putting out one movie in 2027, or will another film be announced as coming out between Doomsday and Secret Wars? Yeah, Jeff, you and I don't usually dive into, let's look at this picture that the Russo brothers issued. That's more of a Geek Buddies thing. But, I mean, a lot of people are speculating that there may be a third movie they're teasing in that picture they posted, that black and white picture, that there might be, that the rumors are that they might break Doomsday up into two separate movies before we get to Secret Wars. What do you think? Are you hearing anything like that?
So there'd be three new Avengers movies?
Three new Avengers movies. It'd be Doomsday or whatever they're going to call it. Then maybe Avengers versus X-Men. And then we get to Secret Wars.
Avengers versus X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I hadn't heard that theory. I mean, again, we'd always heard that X-Men was going to come and come pretty quickly on the heels of Endgame or whatever. But
yeah.
Interesting. I mean, I just don't know what the script for Avengers Doomsday looks like, so I don't know if there's like a big chunk out of it that you could take out of the movie and turn into its own movie, essentially, which may be Avengers versus X-Men. I mean, I don't think it's the craziest thing I've ever heard, because I do think that Marvel needs more movies. I don't know what else they're working on, right? We thought it was Blade, and then that slot, that July 2027 slot or whatever it was, ended up going to the Simpsons movie.
Right, Simpsons too.
Right, so like that, they're not any closer on Blade. They don't seem to have Midnight Suns. Like, what else is it? I feel like we would have already heard, unless it's an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So not the craziest thing. And obviously, Avengers is what put butts in seats for Marvel, and they need some wins. So I could see it, but three in a row without anything else.
I mean, I could see three Avengers movies in a row. First of all, it's never been done. Second of all, it would make sense that they're claiming that there's still more people that are going to be added to Doomsday, and that they're still writing stuff. And a lot of the actors have said, I don't even know who I'm acting opposite on in the movie. So they might be coming back for reshoots. So I would not put it past Marvel to split that movie up into two separate movies to keep the momentum going to Secret Wars, so we'll see.
Here's the big question. It might lead my newsletter tonight. I'm not sure.
Okay.
It kind of depends on my schedule tonight and a couple other things. But entertain this, food for thought.
Okay.
How sure are you? Would you put all your life savings on it, gun to the head? I'll bet my life on it.
Okay.
Ryan Coogler's coming back to direct Black Panther 3. Guy just made Sinners. Guy just wrote his ticket, could do whatever the fuck he wants. Really think he wants to go back to Black Panther and inherit a new T'Challa that he didn't cast, that the Russo brothers cast?
Well, that's a great point. I was thinking yes until you said that, because I don't know if he's involved in the casting of this new Black Panther or not. But I also know this is his baby, and there's a cultural responsibility he feels to get this one across the line, I would imagine. So I would be shocked if he didn't come back. That being said, if they're trying to change what they want to do with Black Panther, because it is not a Ryan Coogler property, is a Marvel property. If they want to change what they want to use Black Panther 3 to do for the overall universe, and then that might lead Ryan to be like, you know what, find another director to do it. It's just not what I want to do. Because I mean, Black Panther 2 suffers because they tried to shove in too many things that fit to the outer MCU universe that just did not work in the movie. So if he's going to be forced to do it again in Black Panther 3, I don't know that he'd want to do that.
I mean, like, does this end with Black Panther 3? I mean, it's
right.
just a self-contained trilogy and that's it? Because if they're talking about, well, we might do Black Panther 4 and we may also do Black Panther 5. At that point, why not just throw up your hands and walk away? I mean, I understand feeling like when you say he feels responsibility to the culture,
right?
That's a good argument.
Yeah.
But I think that you use that argument already on Black Panther 2. Like that is, he came back to do that because he felt the responsibility. At this point, don't you think he's kind of better than these movies?
Well, 100%. Yes.
He doesn't really need these. Like he should be going on to do his own Christopher Nolan thing. I don't know that I'm 100% convinced.
It's a fair point. It's a fair point, man. Jeff Hoban. Oh, sorry. John Hoban says, Jeff, do you suggest watching Night Call dubbed or with subtitles? I don't mind subtitles.
I always go subtitles over because I like to hear the emotion of the real actors and their voices. Some people just, won't do subtitles or have poor eyesight or whatever, and they do. So, personal preference.
I refuse to do dubbed unless it's Love is Blind from another country. Then I do dubbed. But other than that, I never do dubbed. The Sympathy of All Things says, what translation of the Odyssey did Nolan take inspiration from his upcoming adaptation? I don't know. I should have to ask Nolan. Why are you asking?
Is this Sympathy of All Things? How are we supposed to know this? I mean, it's a good question, but yeah. How do we know?
Exactly what translation did Nolan take inspiration from? No offense, Sympathy, but
thank you for watching and sending in a question. We appreciate it. I wish I could answer it. I do.
Yeah. There you go. Jim Bird says, what's up, guys? You got to pick one, Caught Stealing or Toxic Avenger to watch tonight. Which one are you picking?
Easy.
Well, listen. Yeah, go ahead, Jeff.
This is an easy choice. Come on. This is Caught Stealing. This is Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah.
I mean, Toxic Avenger, that'll get crowds excited at Fantastic Fest or whatever, but, it's not a great movie. Caught Stealing impressed me a lot more than I thought I was going to be.
Yeah, no offense, but I've never been the trauma guy, so Caught Stealing is my choice very easily. And also, I mean, I've had a few friends text me over the last week saying they caught stealing at home and said it was really great and can't understand why it didn't make a lot of money. So there you go.
Bad trailer. And a weird, bit of a weird movie, but it's a real movie star turn from Austin Butler, and I liked it.
There you go. Prisoner John Pimpea, hashtag bars and blockbuster, says, what do you call a cow with no legs? Ground beef. Ka-ching. There you go. Thank you, John.
Thank you, John Pimpea. Okay, go back to that question.
Okay.
Go back to that question. Do you see that? That's pretty funny. Is that AI?
Yeah, that's AI.
Can't be AI can't be in a fucking, come on. We love candy around here. Cut him a break.
Simon Sections, guys, this Kill Bill something. Do you think it will include the Michael J. White deleted scene, or am I missing something? Why so serious? Oh, I don't think it will, because the only 7 minutes they're adding, they said, is an animated sequence. They didn't say they were going to add new scenes that were cut, so I'd be surprised. Actually, they said they were going to shave some stuff out of it. So
I don't even know what the fucking Michael J. White deleted scene is. So I have no
idea. Yeah.
All I know is that Buck likes to fuck.
Oh, there you go. I do this because beer will want me to do this. Beer. Samo says, enjoyed one battle after another. Do you think it will be a cult classic? No, man. It's going to be a classic. Period. Not a cult classic. I've seen it 4 times in the theaters now. I agree. I disagree with Jeff. I think it's the best film of the year, no doubt.
4 times? Like
4 times.
Like, why?
Because I have Regal, and I can go as many times as I want to see a movie for 50 cents. So I went to see it 4 out of 5 days last week in the middle of the day because I just really enjoyed the movie, and it spoke my language, and it worked for me on so many levels in the commentary and what goes on with the characters, plus Sean Penn's performance. And I like DiCaprio's performance. I actually don't agree. I don't think he's the weak one in the film. And I think Chase Infinity is a fucking star in the making.
Yes.
So I can't wait to see more. Everybody, so I just really enjoyed it. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Tiana, I was I was in and out on Tiana, but everyone else I really enjoyed. Go ahead. Yeah,
I thought she was a stick of dynamite in this movie, and it needed more of her.
That's because you liked what she did in the movie too, Sean Penn. That's you. That's essentially you.
I'm kind of thinking of the black ladies. I understand wanting to see this movie again. I'd like to see it again before time. I mean, I'm just like, I see all these Instagram skits now, right? Where it's like, I saw the movie in.
Oh yeah,
I had a VHS copy made for myself. It's like, I don't know. It's a little performative at this point.
I just saw it I saw it in IMAX twice and regular theater twice. I didn't go 70 mil or 35. I'm not checking any boxes like people did with Sinners. 34 Virgo says those GNs and movie tapes are in waiting for a rainy day just in case he fucks up. P Diddy. Oh, yeah. Yikes.
What's the GN?
Oh Jesus, what do you call those things? Anyway, I'll let you know in a second.
All right.
He also says just like the tapes magically appeared again on R. Kelly. I don't know about that.
Again, this is someone who's too online. I don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know R. Kelly had some trouble. P. Diddy had some trouble. That's all I need to know. Okay, I don't need to know every fucking detail of these cases.
Good point. 30. When are we getting Passion of the Christ 2? That's in motion. Mel's supposed to shoot that thing soon, Jeff.
I think it has a date already. I think it's like in 2027. I think.
Yeah. Simon Section says, just out of curiosity, Simone, Al Pacino. Have you seen it? Oh God, yeah, but like when it first came out, I've never seen
it. And it wasn't good. I would actually be curious to watch Simone again now, given the world that we live in. But and this is legit. I mentioned it in the column last night. I have not seen Simone mentioned at all.
Yeah.
By a single other outlet in any of this AI stuff. How do you write about this stuff without even mentioning that movie?
Yeah. It's a good point.
Shocking. You know what it is? It's because journalists,
journalists,
they just aren't movie buffs like you and I.
No, you're right. The young kids, anything before 2010, they haven't watched.
They don't remember it. Matt Bellany, as good a reporter as Matt Bellany is not a movie buff.
No, he's not. He's a reporter.
Yeah, right. I mean, anyways.
Yeah, even some of these younger kids, I see some of these younger people when I go to these functions and whatever, and I'm just like, I feel like sitting there, and I don't want to be the asshole who gatekeeps, but I kind of do want to be the asshole who gatekeeps and sits them down and goes, all right, tell me the classic movies of this. Have you seen this or this? Or tell me what happens. Tell me this. Like, I want to test them, because if you're going to sit here and cockily talk about films, but you don't know shit about classic films, I think your opinion means nothing.
Well, no one's mistaking Simone for a classic, but fair enough.
True. John Darius says, hey guys, how many years do you think it will be until we possibly see another live action Dragon Ball adaptation? If the new Gundam is a success, it can open the doors for new possibilities. Thoughts?
Isn't there something filming? I literally saw something today.
Yeah.
Online of some footage of a Dragon Ball thing being filmed. Because the hair I thought looked ridiculous. So I'm not aware. I don't know. I don't care. I don't follow this shit. But
Yeah.
I literally saw something today about something new Dragon Ball filming.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I think we're closer now that that Fun film came out and made a lot of money. I think we're closer to that again. If Mortal Kombat 2 comes out and is good, which I really, really doubt, that could spark the desire.
On Gundam, by the way. So I'm very confused where Gundam stands. So Sydney Sweeney's starring in Gundam. I know that much.
Supposedly.
I did the story. No, that's legit. Last week,
yeah,
I did a story about Benson Boone joining Gundam.
Yes.
As soon as I published it, an agent reached out and said, "Oh, I didn't realize he got it. I thought he bombed it. I heard he bombed his chemistry test with Sydney Sweeney." Did we talk about this? Or no. I was like, "How does somebody bomb a chemistry test with Sydney fucking Sweeney?" And then a day or two after I ran the Benson Boone story, someone, which I forget which outlet, it may have been Nexus, said that Drew Starkey was in talks for the role of Sydney Sweeney. Today, I circled back with my original source. I checked them, once a week or whatever. And I said, "Hey, I don't know if that, I heard the Benson Boone thing had a bad chemistry read and that Drew Starkey got it." And he's like, "No, I heard Drew Starkey passed." So I don't know if Benson Boone worked out, which is what my first source said, even though the second source said he bombed a chem test. I don't know if it's Drew Starkey, who Nexus or whoever is reporting, and my original source is saying no. But Gundam is definitely actively casting the male lead opposite Sydney Sweeney.
Wow. There you go. All right. 34 Virgo says, remember Denzel said he's only doing movies with directors he wants to work with, and Coogler's written a role for him. So I'm betting my life that he does Black Panther 3. Maybe.
I mean, I guess. What if Coogler just wrote it? What if he just writes it and then lets somebody
hands it off? I mean, he walked away from Creed and gave it to Stephen Capel. So it's not like he doesn't have history doing that. So yeah. I don't think he likes sequels. I'll be honest with you. I don't think Coogler's a sequels guy. He did Black Panther 2 out of responsibility, as you said, because of Chadwick's passing. And of course he was working on it already, but he doesn't strike me as a guy who wants to do sequels. He wants to do original content. He wants to enjoy that kind of stuff.
And again, since we're just assuming okay, so he wrote a role for Denzel in his next movie. So we're all assuming that movie's Black Panther 3 and that Denzel is in Black Panther 3. What if he's just making a fucking original movie and the next Ryan Coogler event film, and that's the movie that he wrote a role for Denzel in? Because I don't know. Does Denzel just on a dime decide I'm going to go start to do comic book movies now?
Yeah, that's interesting. Michael Baldwin, you convinced me. Coogler's not doing Black Panther 3. There you go, Michael. John Darius says the superhero genre has come a long way, but today's generation loves anime more. Making this genre successful should be the next step. Rurouni Kenshin or even Naruto can be massive wins if done right. Sure, that's for the younger generation. I don't disagree.
Yeah,
I don't disagree. It's coming. Michael Baldwin says, John, you're right about Jenna Ortega. She needs a hit and let the writers write. Jeff, what happens if Gunn's Batman isn't well received? I mean, we don't even know if there's a Gunn Batman.
Yeah. I don't even know what to do with that question.
Yeah.
What happens if it's not well received? I mean, how many movies have we seen be not well received and get sequels?
Yeah, true. Very true.
It's all about if it makes money or not.
Yeah. Samuel says, hey, had an incident watching Smashing Machine last week. Someone had their phone on during the movie. I asked them to turn it off, but he told me to shut the fuck up. So I asked security to tell them to stop it. Have you had those moments? What needs to be done to stop this? Exactly what you did was go and talk to the security person and have them talk to them. You ask them to turn it off politely, I think once. If they don't do it, then go talk to the security guy, because you have a right to enjoy the movie because you pay to enjoy the movie. And if they want to sit on their phones, they can go sit in the back of the theater where no one sees them on the phone. I know for me, sometimes when I would see One Bell After Another, want to make some notes for my review, I sat in the back of the theater so that I wasn't bothering anybody and on my phone making notes.
I'm not opposed to that either, John. Like having the last 2 or 3 rows be for phone people.
Yes, go in the back.
Yeah, it's not the craziest idea, quite frankly. But yeah, I'd be very careful about, getting into a confrontation with somebody.
Yeah,
because you just don't know these days, man. There are people
on edge,
all kinds of weapons.
Yeah, I've had 4 verbal confrontations in movie theaters, 1 physical, and I would never do that now because how unstable people are. Yeah, no way. Amelia says, John and Jeff, is Alice Birch still doing the writer for Taylor Swift's directorial debut at
Yes.
Searchlight Pictures? Okay.
Despite anything that you've read or anything that Searchlight or Miss Swift says, the answer is yes. She did it. She already did it. It's done.
And Amelia says, it's funny how the song Canceled is about Blake Lively. Well, I haven't listened to the album, so I don't know which song she's referencing.
I love all these armchair detectives who decipher the lyrics of Taylor Swift. And oh my God,
she loves it though. She encourages it. Taylor loves it. Samuel says, hey, I'm still in LA for vacation. I wanted to thank you, Rocha, for recommending Paul Preston's tour. Yeah, I had a great time with him, showing me around movies, shot there, and talking to me a lot about movies. He knows his stuff, and I highly recommend it. Shout out to him. Yeah, Jeff, you and I both promote Paul, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely take Paul's tour, but I didn't get a call. Could have come to the Museum Day Sneider.
Yeah, Paul texted me. I meant to tell you this. Paul texted me the other day and thanked us for promoting his tour and said the guy was really nice and he had a good time. So, yeah.
Yeah, he does a good job on those tours. But, I mean, come see my treasures.
Lebitard Show Quotes says, I know they brought RDJ because he puts butts in seats and financially it's a good move, but I'm curious if you guys know story-wise why they brought RDJ back. Also, I know you've had talks with new rock stars and will you be on their show this year? I don't know. We tried to be on the show a month or two ago, and Eric said that they were busy doing a bunch of stuff at the same time, so we're supposed to circle back and revisit it, so we'll see. As for the story, Jeff, I don't know about the story at all. That's one of the things that hasn't leaked for me. How about you? Do you know the story?
Story even done? The story could be changing as we speak. I have no idea.
That's a good point. How about that? Jack says, do you guys think award shows like Emmys and Oscars vote based on merit and rightfully should win, or it's who they want to win? I truly like The Pitt and Severance, but there's no way The Pitt deserved best drama series over Severance, and I know it's my opinion.
Yeah, it did deserve it. The Pitt was so excellent. Again, I am not someone who watches these shows.
Right. To
get me to watch, let alone keep watching for 15 hours. This isn't a fucking 6-episode show or anything like The Pitt was extraordinary. So I really liked Severance season 1, but I didn't watch season 2. I haven't gone back to it yet. I would like to.
Yeah.
It hasn't been a top priority, and I've heard mixed things.
There you go. How about Fantastic says, I love you, Jeff, but every time I hear you say, who cares about the money, I can't help but think of all those people lining up at the unemployment office because the box office sucked.
I'm confused. What is this?
I think he's saying when a movie doesn't do well, people go on unemployment who are part of the production. That's not necessarily true, bro. Fred, you don't work in the business clearly because people are already on their next movie as soon as they're done with one movie. It's only the actors that really kind of
everyone. There's no work. There's no work for the crew. I mean, Ben Fritz had a great piece in Wall Street Journal today about all these people and how there's no jobs for them.
Oh, wow. Oh, I didn't know that. Because I know when I was working in the business back a few years ago, like every set I worked on, the guys were already talking about their next project after the one they were working on. So
yeah, I don't understand the can you read it one more time?
Yeah, sure. I love you, Jeff, but every time I hear you say, who cares about the money, I can't help but think of all those people lining up at the unemployment office because the box office sucked.
I still don't get it. Whatever.
All right. Carlton Banks 007 says, happy Friday, lads. The reasons why donos and viewers might be lower on Fridays is because of the time zone difference. A lot of my friends are in Central and East times, so on a Friday it makes it hard to watch. I know this only because Jeff's triple O this week. Jeff this week. Oh, okay. Well, we go on Thursdays at the same time, so maybe because it's Fridays, I guess. Oh,
I had to fly back yesterday, so make the show.
Jeff likes Filet-O-Fish, says, I hope you get baked and have burgers soon, bros. With today meant to be the release of the Batman Part 2 originally, with the hype for Batman, does Reeves get his trilogy and shows? Plus, the critical acclaim of the Penguin, this universe has got to get more.
It's all about the needs of HBO Max and what the content budget is and all that kind of stuff. It is kind of wild that the movie was supposed to come out today and it hasn't. And it's still a year away from shooting, basically. 6 to 8 months away from shooting.
Yeah. I think everything will happen as you said, as WB decides it's going to happen. And I don't think Gunn wants a competing Batman. I have to believe he doesn't. So Sausage Finger says, great show today, guys. Do you know if thank you. Do you know if Lucasfilm will ever bring back George Lucas in any way to write or develop a Star Wars project, or have they completely moved on? And have you heard any reviews or comments on Vince Gilligan's new show for Apple? I have not. Jeff, have you heard anything from Vince Gilligan's show? What is it?
I haven't heard any. I mean, I think it looks cool. I haven't heard much about it. Apple's definitely keeping it under wraps. I think it's supposed to drop this month.
Oh, okay.
And I check every other day basically for screeners, and they're not up yet. That's how I discovered The Hunt.
Yeah,
was looking the other day to see if there were pluribus screeners yet. And Apple typically puts its shows on the streaming platform like a month or two early.
Yeah,
which to me is also crazy because it's like I watch it as soon as I can, and then 2 months when the show comes out and the embargo lifts and I can finally write about it, I've already forgotten. I've already moved on. I watched it 2 months ago. So I don't understand that just the strategy in general. I understand that like they think that critics need a lot of time to watch these shows. We don't. We need like a day or two. So I don't. I'm not a fan of how early some things hit these streamers because I literally forget about them by the time they come out. What was the other part of the question?
Do you think George Lucas will ever come back to Lucasfilm to do a project?
No, I think forget Lucasfilm. I think George Lucas has moved on. I think George Lucas is like, yeah, you guys are doing your own thing now. Like,
I think he's done with film completely. Omar says, Jeff, you were right. Relay is fantastic. Dare I say better than Night Call. The twist at the end is masterful. What did you think of the twist? Well, non-spoiler wise, what did you think of the twist?
The twist worked for me. It caught me off guard. I know some people can't get on board with the twist. I liked it and thought it was well done, and it made sense within the story. But yeah, Relay and Night Call are both two of the best movies I've seen this year. Like, there you go. All right, sorry, Paul Thomas Anderson didn't direct them.
ODB18 says, not many headlines about One Battle After Another's low box office compared to what Sinners got, despite costing more and making less. I have a theory why. Do you guys?
Yeah, it's because people are racist, motherfucker.
I don't think it's about racism.
I mean, people expected this to flop. We knew, we knew it was not going to. It's almost impossible to make up its budget. The budget's just too fucking high.
Yeah. But I tell you what's drowning it out, just like it drowned out the Sinners' initial negative box office, was the positive reception from the fans.
Right, exactly. Yeah. No one wants to kick a movie that they think is gonna like steamroll the Oscars.
Right.
And it will be worth it by then. And again, I forget which this may have been the Ringer podcast that I was listening to, The Big Picture. We judge these movies with box office on opening weekend, right? But the truth is that these are appreciating assets.
You're right.
That have decades to make their money back. And if you win Best Picture, then you become relevant for decades.
Right.
And so, yeah, I think by the end of its run, with all the press and the awards that it'll probably get, One Battle After Another could very well end up making its money back.
Yeah, it's very possible.
The other thing is, it's like, I think the other thing is that it's coming at the tail end of this huge Warner Brothers winning streak. Yeah. And so we know that its box office results are kind of irrelevant because Warner Brothers is having a great year, right?
Right.
So, and all those wins cover for this loss. So it has no real impact on the studio. True. Because the studio is going to be just fine thanks to the banner year that it had.
Right. 100%. 100%. Simon Section says, agreed. Simone, not good. I could have easily seen Tom Arnold playing Pacino's role. Yikes. Rocha's too talented. Sneider knows his shit. I wish he was a geek. There you go.
Sorry. Grew up a jock.
34 Virgo. Chances Keanu Reeves is Ghost Rider. If not, then who should play it? Oh, I think zero chance Keanu Reeves will play Ghost Rider.
Why?
Because he's too old. I think they want to go with someone who's in their 20s or early 30s at the most. They want that character to be in multiple projects. Are you hearing something else?
No, again, the only name I'd heard was like Gosling, which I think was always probably a pipe dream or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, unless you're bringing back Nick Cage and he's older than all of them. I think Keanu would be fine. He's fucking ageless. Like, I get that he's 60 already, and that if you want Ghost Rider in the MCU for the next 10 years. Yeah, by that time, he's going to be 70 years old. So maybe you're right on the age thing, but I think it depends on their plans for Ghost Rider. If they just need him for like a movie or two, then I could see Keanu doing it. Why not?
I mean, already did Constantine, which is essentially kind of the same thing. That conduit between heaven and hell.
Yeah, okay. I guess you're right on that front. It's been a long time since I've seen Constantine, and I don't think of those two as like remotely the same, but whatever. You're right.
We'll see, though. Stranger things have happened. Wayne Edwards says, good evening, gents. What's up, Wayne? I just got off work. I want to send some support your way before you sign off. Thank you, Wayne. We just got back from Seattle. I love that city. My third favorite city. What are the best movies set in Seattle? Oh, say Singles, Jeff?
Yeah, Singles isn't great.
Okay.
There's a movie I'm thinking of. It's not Seattle.
Okay.
Pacific Northwest. I mean, yeah. What comes to mind for you? I don't even.
Okay. Here's some. Sleepless in Seattle. 10 Things I Hate About You. Say Anything. That's definitely up there. Fabulous Baker Boys. I love that movie. Officer and a Gentleman. House of Games, the Mammoth film, one of the first Mammoth films. Hand That Rocks the Cradle is set in Seattle, Jeff.
I had no idea. Yeah, I guess I need to study up on my Seattle cinema a bit more. I'm more into the Seattle music scene.
50-50, which is a great...
I do like 50-50 a lot. This movie is not Seattle, but wasn't The Hunted set in the Pacific Northwest?
Oh, yeah, it was set in the Pacific Northwest. I think so.
Really, yeah. I liked its use of the Pacific Northwest.
Yeah, agreed. I got to visit Seattle. I got to go. I love the rain, and I love that needle. I got to go. Lemmy Ward says, any updates on the Warner Brothers sale? Love you guys. Any updates on the Warner Brothers sale? Love you guys. I feel like Will Ferrell.
I just don't think that the Ellison thing is very real. I just don't think it's going to happen.
Do you think that was done to drive up the price?
I do. I think it was to drive up the stock price and all that. Here's something, though. So, like, if a movie studio is the new toy that every billionaire has to have, right? Jeff Bezos, Ellison. Is there another billionaire you could see buying a movie studio? Maybe a real kooky billionaire with a big social media platform?
You mean Elon? Do you mean Elon? Yeah, I could see it happening.
Could Elon Musk buy Warner Brothers? I could see it.
God help us all. God help us all. I could see him buying Disney. And 25 says, Jeff, with all the mergers and industry shifts, do you see physical HW Hollywood existing 10 years from now? I just see Netflix models, sadly. Also, Lanterns trailer soon.
What's the next DC thing?
Supergirl, I think. I mean, Lanterns is coming out before Supergirl.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying to think of like what Lanterns might be like attached to.
Well, it's a TV series, so they're just going to put it up. The trailer. Yeah.
I guess you're right. I mean, yeah, but like with Welcome to Derry, like could you be watching Welcome to Derry and then after Derry ends, here's the first trailer for Lanterns?
Oh yeah, I could see that.
Do something like that. Do I think that Hollywood will exist physically 10 years from now? I do. Yeah. I just think this whole city is like built for Hollywood, and if you're telling me everything's just going to go away, like I don't know what happens to LA.
That's a great question. Jay Scoot says, for posterity and curiosity's sake, how much would a question have to donate for you to indulge spoilers on something you're excited to see? I'm not sure I understand the question. How much? I mean,
I'd tell you, like, you know, I'd DM you, Jay Scoots, or, you know, if you like were really desperate to know something that I knew. But like, I'm not trying to. I don't think there's any amount of money you could just donate here on the show that like would have me spoil something terribly for, you know, 10,000 people that watch the show every week or something.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to do that. 100% agree with you. Yeah. So there is no monetary, but DM wise, possibly. So. All right, there you go. That's the last question. I got to get out of here. Thank you all so much for hanging out with us. Thanks for the Streamlabs Super Chats, a lively chat. Well over 500 of you joining us for a majority of the show. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell button. And also, Jeff, where else can they subscribe, brother?
TheInsnider.com, guys. Come on. If there's 10,000 people watching the show every week, there should be 10,000 people subscribed to the newsletter. I don't understand. If you need a discount, DM me. Happy to do that, especially with the holidays coming up. I know money's tight. I know times are tough. But thank you for watching. Thank you for reading. Those who do subscribe, and have a great weekend.
There you go. Yeah, definitely go see a movie this weekend. And Amenity is out in certain cities as well. Let us know what you think of the Daniel Day-Lewis as well as Smashing Machine movies are. There's a lot. Or if you see a TV show, let us know what you thought about it all. Take care of yourself.
VHS Halloween's on Shudder this weekend, John.
VHS Halloween. There you can stream that.
By the way,
one.
did you see Good Boy?
No, it's out in theaters this weekend. I didn't see a screen. They didn't have a screening down here.
Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't really like it.
I heard it. I have not heard good things. I've heard it. It was a hook, but then the hook bared no fruit.
A clever idea, a very talented dog, no question. But this is a 73-minute movie that felt like it was 3 fucking hours.
Oh, no thanks. No thanks.
Sorry.
All right, well, go see something this weekend. Enjoy yourselves and come back and join us next week for a brand new episode of the Hot Mic. Peace until then. We love you.
So I am.